Amin Elhassan is going to join us here in a little bit for his weekend observations. We've got some sound to play that was pretty amusing between Cristobal and Saban. Saban questioned Cristobal at the end of that first half against Ole Miss. Cristobal had a good response. While Saban's saying 2-minute spot like that, you got to make sure that you get points, but don't put yourself in a position where you're giving up points. And Cristobal came right back at him with, no, Coach, actually, after a minute in the game, you do try to go aggressive there with a minute left in the half. Let's play that sound for the people.
2 scores by the half, no question about it. The 2 minute before the half where they stole 3 points, where if you don't have field position, it's not like 2 minutes at the end of the game.
What the hell are you doing?
We should have never
on.
let him get the ball back. All right, so.
Coach, I hate to stop you, but let me correct you. As by your standards, and I'll show you your notebook if you want to, if you were under 45 seconds and at your 35, you try to pop a run or a screen, and if you do, you go. But with over a minute, especially over minute 10, your philosophy was be aggressive and try to get points. And that's what we did. So there you go.
I need to see that. I may have changed my philosophy.
Hey, TV's changed them, Coach. TV's changed them, Coach.
It used to be about physicality. Now you like trick reverses and,
I saw a flea flicker last night. I saw it burn down through some kind of bull. I've never seen before.
He also told Nick Saban to go trim his eyebrows because Mario Cristobal wants to win at football punching you in the face.
That was a good punch-counterpunch session there. Got his ass with the flea flicker, though.
I got to tell you, I think I've gotten past it, but certainly at first, I was not comfortable with how much I enjoy Saban on television. He is excellent. He is excellent.
What do you mean you're not comfortable with it?
Because I haven't liked him. You know, everything that happened with the Dolphins, and certainly you're not going to root for big, bad Alabama. And I have not liked Saban. But he's tremendous on television, and I find he comes off very likable. I like him now.
ESPN has done an amazing job with everything that show is. It's hard to be a vibrant Saturday thing that's better than all the other things because you figure it out. With chemistry among big egos, it's one of, with a lot of different personalities, it might be, in the history of sports television, our lifetimes, it's inside the NBA in this, is it not? At the top of the food chain. If I give you everything in sports content, I never mind even just studio shows. I could just give you the best things that sports television does of all kinds. Make it HBO Real Sports and anything else you want to throw in there. The college game day Saturday experience, to be that relevant, reinvent itself over 20 years, be a lovable Saturday Americana thing, is the second greatest thing in the history of sports television, not named the Inside the NBA show for chemistry and reinvention.
I had Reese Davis on my college football campus tour show this weekend for ESPN Radio. We were in Atlanta for Peach Bowl. And I love hearing about the travel because, like, they did the game Thursday, that crew, at Fiesta Bowl. And then Friday, I know they were already in Atlanta. So I was talking to Reese Friday morning. And so I said to him, my first question was, I got to hear about the travel. I love the travel and how you get from one place to the next. So he's like, listen, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but it was a handful of us. We took Saban's jet. We took Nick Saban's jet Thursday right after the broadcast. So they're not staying for the game. Right as the game is starting, Saban's jet, they're taking off. But Reese Davis tells me they couldn't watch the game. They couldn't watch the Fiesta Bowl. They had to keep getting updates from the tower because Saban doesn't spring for the Wi-Fi on his private jet. So they couldn't watch the game. They're literally getting updates from the tower.
Who's in there? Who are you accusing of not watching the Fiesta Bowl?
I'm not accusing. Reese Davis told us on the air. This is not a private story. But he came on our show.
But who are the people? Who are the people on this plane?
It's Reese, and it's Nick Saban, and it's Desmond Howard, and it's Stanford Steve, and like a couple other
So they couldn't
guys.
watch the game. They were not able to watch the University of Miami
They
game.
thought they were going to be able to watch the game, but they get on and Saban doesn't have the Wi-Fi.
That's what I'm stuck on.
Well, I will tell you this story. I think I told you guys this the other day. I was surprised to see back when Jimmy Johnson wasn't tired of travel and going back and forth, he would fly to the West Coast every week, and he flew. He didn't fly privately. he flew in first class. And when I asked him why he didn't fly privately, his response was the Wi-Fi is too expensive when you're going across the country like that. I can't watch the games. I can't watch the college football games while I'm flying if I also have to pay for the Wi-Fi on my private plane.
What's the point of making all these millions of dollars if you aren't going to shell out a little bit extra to pay for Wi-Fi?
Oh, but it must be prohibitive, though.
You have a private plane.
I gotta think, though, if Nick Saban is making commercials and everything else, that we're not understanding something about what Wi-Fi costs on an airplane.
Here was Saban's explanation. And by the way, Reese Davis said they go like 700 miles an hour. They got to Atlanta really quick. Like, they got to watch at least the fourth quarter live by the time they landed. But here is Saban's explanation. He never has to watch any live game on his plane because he watches film. So he has these games like downloaded to his computer. So he's never had to use Wi-Fi.
But that's not a fun way to experience the game, to be watching it later on tape without already knowing the result. Like, that's not – what fun is that? You don't think Reese Davis still loves sports enough that he wants to be watching it? They wouldn't be calling up to the cockpit asking for scores if they were okay just watching it by film. Amin joins us now. He's going to do his weekend observations in a second. What are your thoughts here, Amin?
You think Nick Saban watches games for fun? You have like, oh, give me my popcorn. I want to watch the Fiesta Bowl. No, this dude is working. He's working like he's still a head coach. He's breaking down film. He's watching all 22s. He is in locked-in mode. The surprise of who wins or not, I think that's the thing that a lot of non-working for sports organizations people don't get, is that the film that we watch is not for the surprise. I wonder who's going to win. It is literally just an exercise that you go through and you watch things and you break it down and you rewind and you pause and you draw up plays. That's what it's there for. No one's actually saying, I wonder if Miami's going to pull it off. They don't care like that.
But one of the things that I think is funny about Zaslow seeing Saban reinvented in this form in the afterlife of his career as he's going to become a powerful voice on lobbying. It's funny to me that anyone thinks that someone who's that competitive would get into this field and then not be competitive about being the very best at this field. Like, he's not going there to have a platform. Nick Saban cares deeply about being better at this than other people, and so he's going to put in the grind of work that he misses to study the film so he is saying the most interesting things. There is no way he's taking that job casually. When I tell you that that's the hardest thing to keep up in the air, the weekly of that live show, Chris Fowler's done everything on television. He says very little is as hard as that show. People have no idea the difficulty of the mechanics of pulling off everything that they're doing live and the number of people that requires. To swap out your mascot and replace him with the greatest college coach they've ever been, to allow someone to age with grace and get rid of Lee Corso so that he's sat in a parking lot, because everyone knows this is the best thing. Everyone knows that to work at this thing is to be at the center of America every Saturday. What are you smiling about, Amin?
You think Lee Corso knows he's not on the show?
Starlink Aviation says that you can get Wi-Fi installed on most business jets for $145,000. But that doesn't include the monthly fees or the potential installation costs. That's just for the equipment.
I don't see Jimmy Johnson as a cheap man. There was something about this Wi-Fi. He couldn't get it on his plane to watch games. I'm sure he didn't want to be talking to me in first class about asking him, why are you not flying private? That's not what he wants, but because he gets to watch the football game, the cost may be too much. It must be. Jimmy ain't cheap.
Guys, flying private is not good. It's not good for the environment. It leaves a huge carbon footprint. I applaud Jimmy Johnson for riding first class because he doesn't need to flaunt his wealth to the world. Like, ooh, look at me, I only fly private. There's plenty of flights, American Airlines, Delta Airlines, Spirit, you could take that are nonstops that'll get you where you need to go safely and on time. Shout out to you, Coach Johnson.
You want to do your weekend observations?
I'd love to.
It is time for Amin to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Amin.
Weekend Observations is brought to you by Miller Lite. Legendary moments start with a light. Dan, we had so much fun with Miami winning last Thursday. We gave Mike Ryan his flowers. We showed Michael Irvin doing the belt to ass celebration. But Friday night, the Indiana Hoosiers showed us and the rest of the country what belt to ass really looks like. Holy, what an ass whooping. Last week, I was told the Jags were going to the Super Bowl. And that Dylan McDermott, or whatever the hell his name is going to get fired because the Bills are cooked.
Yeah.
It's almost like you guys don't know what the blazes you're talking about.
I am so mad at myself for trusting the Jags. I feel really stupid.
The whole show. Everybody on the show is stupid. You guys didn't like that tush push by the Bills. But when the late Mike Leach suggested having Brad Williams in for short yardage situations and tossing him over the line of scrimmage, you all cheered.
That's a great idea.
Hypocrites.
That's a great idea.
Mike Leach, one of a kind.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Will somebody hire a little person next season and throw them 7 yards over the line of scrimmage with the football on 4th downs?
Not any little person. Brad Williams.
Okay, make it Brad Williams. Fine.
The Packers.
He's heavier than some of them. I want a lighter. Yes, I want somebody lighter that can be thrown further.
He needs to be able to withstand the impact, though, to break through. If he's too light, to bounce off.
What kind of bully do you have to be to fat shame a little person?
You want a lighter little person, huh?
Yes, in these situations, if I need a first down on 4th and 7, I can get one because my right tackle can throw a little person 7.5 yards further because he's lighter. Yes.
Wait, if you get like a jockey, you could he's like a javelin shape, so you could just toss it really like a spiral.
Him or her.
I'm picturing the way passes get deflected, like Brad getting deflected by a D lineman.
CTE incoming.
It's so great, though. Can you imagine if somebody broke that out next season in a key spot and we were just hiding someone on the practice squad?
Brad will play for the Broncos for free.
The Broncos are going to need it. The Broncos are going to need some yardage.
$0 cap hit. The Packers. Now that's a choke job. I turned the game off. I sent my condolences text to all my Chicago people. I turned on Jazz versus Hornets.
Somebody had somebody had a plus minus, a minus 60 in that game.
Not somebody, it's Cody Williams of the Utah Jazz. Minus 60.
Hornets scored
lowest
150.
plus minus ever.
How is that possible? I put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is it possible to have a minus 60 plus minus in an NBA game against Charlotte at home?
Yes. Dan, I could do you one better. Do you know who Cody Williams' older brother is?
I do not.
Jalen Williams. Yes, the good one for Oklahoma City. That's his older brother.
How is that doing me one better on somebody had minus 60 in an NBA game?
I'll do you one better then. I'll do even one better than that. Utah Jazz this year have the worst defensive rating in NBA history. That's pretty obvious because they give up.
Oh, wait a minute. I mean, this is a good stat. This is a good stat. I think you should get the stat of the day music. I think we should stop. This is an amazing stat that you're about to give here.
Let's time out on weekend observations. I'll give you a great stat of the day because I wasn't even done with the stat. I wasn't even done. Hit the music. Not the long one.
Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day.
Stat of the day is presented by Miller Lite.
Oh, wow. That's nice. A little synergy with the sponsor. The Utah Jazz, the worst defensive rating in NBA history this season. They broke the previous record, which was set by the Utah Jazz of the 24-25 season. Who broke the previous record,
No way.
which was set by the Utah Jazz of the 23-24 season. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. For 3 consecutive years, the Utah Jazz have not only had the worst defensive rating in NBA history, they've improved on that by setting the record even further.
It is historically the worst defensive basketball team there has ever been by miles, correct?
I just told you how many miles. 3 years in a row, they've broken their own record. There's nobody close. That'll never happen again in the history of sports unless they do it again next year for 4 straight years. We're living in a dynasty. All right, back to observations. 3, 2, One, and give it to me. There it is. Don't worry. Just hit it. Don't worry about it.
Amin.
Yeah, okay. All right. Minus 60. Lowest plus minus ever. I woke up the next day to do morning radio, and while shooting the shit with my board op, I learned the Bears won. True story. Mike Ryan clapping back at IU defensive coordinator Bryant Haynes with, "May you continue to catapult your team to new heights." I love it.
Get it?
I love it. Good, Mike. What do you think he means by that? Does anyone know? Am I the only one who doesn't know? Show of hands.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Mike Ryan is
Okay.
being clever. He's amused with himself. I don't get the
Okay.
reference.
Okay, no, that doesn't make it a bad reference, Mike. It just means nobody here got it. But I'm sure someone got it. I live for those jokes. That's why I laughed hard.
I can guarantee you he got it.
Genesis is here?
Yeah. Talk, Mike. Dan not being able to count bowling pins and blaming it on camera work. Never change. Tony going to the sex shop to deliver NFL takes. Journalism. Dan getting excited to see a garland that he thought was a thong. Dan Le Batard. Repurposed garland. Collision course. Except for Dan, the garland would have to have Matthew Stafford on it with a speech bubble saying, "Let's go snatch these guys' hearts." Be honest, Dan. Clean up on aisle 3?
I was scared. I was scared that the Carolina Panthers were going to make me look idiotic again somehow by winning a game I couldn't possibly explain how they won.
But I'm saying, like, when you heard that Stafford said that before the game-winning drive, clean up on aisle 3, right?
Let's hear Devontae Adams saying what it is that Amin is talking about there.
Yeah, I think he said, "Let's go snatch these guys' hearts." And that was pretty cold. Just to hear that, and I actually, like, literally smiled in the moment because I thought that was, like, one of the most gangster things you could say in that moment, honestly. And to hear him say that and the look on his face and then throw the touchdown and then the look on his face after that was just, like, MVP stuff.
Zaz, hand him a towel. Clean up on aisle 3 right now.
Why do you have me masturbating in a grocery store?
It's gross.
I mean, I'm not having you masturbating.
Heavy-handed.
That is involuntary, my friend. An expulsion.
Why is it a grocery store? Why does it need to be cleaned up? Why am I around like a bunch of crackers and the chips, and you've got me in aisle 3? Like what? Like,
Aisle 3. Aisle 3 is not the chip aisle, sir. Aisle 3 is pasta sauce and pasta.
Oh, it's a spice owl.
And the spices are on the end of the aisle.
Put it on the poll at LeBatard Show. Aisle 3. What does it have? Spices or pastas?
No, chips is what you suggest.
All right, chips, crackers,
Ridiculous.
spices or pastas. All right.
Ridiculous.
Fine, don't-
Respect yourself. Respect yourself, Dan Le
I just
Batard.
didn't understand why it is that you were having a cleanup in aisle 3. Why is someone ejaculating in aisle 3 of a grocery store?
Not better.
You know why. Dennis Schroeder. Suspended for 3 games for confronting and attempting to strike an opposing player. Then commenting, quote, attempting, eyes emoji, rolling laughing emoji, underneath the Shams post announcing the suspension. It's pretty cool, considering the attempt was successful. Dan, you know about that?
I don't.
So Dennis Schroeder and Luka Doncic got into it in a Lakers-Kings game in late December. Allegedly, Luka said something about you should have taken the contract or whatever. He made some sort of contract joke.
No, he called him the B word.
Well, I feel like the contract part was probably the worst part. Dennis Schroeder confronted in the hallway after the game, but he didn't attempt to strike him. He slapped him. Yeah. Misconnection.
You love why do you love your silly NBA dramas? Like why is it that you can't get enough of these beefs that are silly and not very adult?
When the story was just he slapped Luka Doncic, I was like, oh, okay. But when the suspension is for an attempt to strike, and he's like, attempt? That's where I enjoyed that.
Well, why did they describe it as attempt? Like, wouldn't it have made more sense for striking Luka Doncic?
I don't know. Maybe it's in question whether he actually made contact, although Dennis Schroeder would attempt to kind of confirmed that, yes, he did, in fact, make contact.
Okay, good.
Misconnection. You were the hilarious stand-up comedian who shouted me out in the middle of your set. I was the drunk who you had security toss out. Back to Oregon getting smacked. Prayers to Trista Crick, who had quite possibly the greatest live vlogging of a fan experience I've ever seen. It was hilarious to see the ups and the downs.
Girls down bad.
Yeah. Prayers to Ian Carmel as well. But he bounced back from that ass whooping to do tremendous work writing for Nikki Glazer, who hosted the Golden Globes. I have no idea which jokes were yours, Ian, but I laughed. It's kind of like milk, right? I have no idea which specific cow it came from. I just know it gives me the afterward. Except in Ian's case, instead of the it's laughter. I promise that was supposed to be a compliment. Speaking of the Golden Globes, they gave away an award for Best Podcast. Cinephobe wasn't nominated.
Who won?
I don't know, but I know that Cinephobe episode 295 was Def Jam's How to Be a Player.
Amy Poehler.
Starring Bill Bellamy, Bernie Mac, Mari Morrow, and Lark Voorhees.
Lark Voorhees.
Yep. They had to reshoot the ending after the original ending tested poorly with female audiences. Women, am I right? Back me up, Zaz.
We know what they love.
Okay.
Wives in particular.
Is there anyone who hates the sight of a hospital more than Anthony Davis? Christ almighty. His latest, a left-hand injury that will either take 6 weeks to heal if they opt for the non-surgical route, or months if he goes under the knife. Guessing that won't help the trade value.
I mean, how did their front office not trade Anthony Davis the day they fired Nico Harrison?
Because there were people inside the organization who are saying, wait, we can still do this. All we need is fight for Kyrie Irving to get back. Shout out to Nico Harrison. There's a basketball hell. He's in it. Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Those are the weekend observations.
I mean, you're welcome to stick around if you want. We've got a hockey fight that we want to dissect in a second, but I wanted to ask the audience at Le Batard Show, Golden Globes, welcome distraction or especially ridiculous during these particular times? You have to choose one or the other. I could not find enthusiasm for the Golden Globes last night. You know, I'm not much for the award show. What are you shaking your head about, Amin?
Oh, is it a welcome distraction or like these times? It's not appropriate to have this kind of programming on at these times. Now let's watch some football. Let's watch some football. That's some stuff I can get behind. Football.
That's correct. Thank you for being on with us, Amin. I appreciate it.
I mean, we sent Tony to a sex shop, so
you can always count on Mark Ruffalo making you feel better about your choices.
I saw Ruffalo quoted. I've always liked Ruffalo, but I saw him after
that tracks.
After I have. Am I the only one? I've liked Ruffalo, but okay, put it on the poll at Le Batard. Is Dan the only one who's liked Ruffalo? I have
a Ruffalo governor. Whenever I start getting too blowhardy about politics, I'm like, just don't cross the Ruffalo threshold.
I don't like him I didn't like him because of his politics, so I understand why you would make that accusation. I just liked him for being sort of a schlubby guy who made it in acting and seemed to make some pretty decent, ambitious choices. But then he starred in Task. He was not the star of the vehicle, and as soon as he was left alone with it, it fell apart and was not worth watching. But one of the
Spoiler alert, Jesus.
One of the things that he said after that is, I don't know, I woke up a leading man, or I went to bed a leading man, and I get up in the morning, and now I'm this schlubby guy. And I'm like, Ruffalo, you think of yourself as a leading man? Like, I know he is. I know he's the Hulk, and he is. But part of your appeal is that you're not supposed to think of yourself as the leading man. You're Ruffalo. You're Ruffalo.
This is coming from someone that clearly hasn't seen 13 going on 30.
Love that movie.
I like
the slick back look in Collateral.
Ruffalo?
He looked handsome in Collateral.
So Ruffalo, you're okay with Ruffalo calling himself a leading man if he's beautiful? You don't
have to be beautiful to be
I don't
a
know.
leading man.
handsome in certain roles.
His point in Task was that he gained some weight and was drinking a vodka out of a styrofoam cup in the morning, and he went 30 pounds heavier. And so I've always thought of him as a bit schlubby. And if you identify as a leading man, you're not exactly Clooney. There are a handful of leading men. I don't expect Matt Damon to say it, even though he is. Like there's not. You guys aren't with me on the idea of like there's a even if it's a feigned humility. If you're Giamatti, you don't call yourself a leading man. If you're Buscemi, you don't call. You know your place.
But those guys aren't leading men.
And neither
They're
is Ruffalo.
leads in shows. But Ruffalo has been able to toe that line of he could be the romantic interest.
It's all right. I think we're certainly well within our rights to take shots at Mark Ruffalo's appearance.
I look like him, the lesser version of him, even in.
Who told you look like him?
Wait,
have some feigned humility here, Dan Le Batard.
I mean in the schlubbiest ways.
Yeah,
No. I don't mean in the leading man ways.
Right.
I mean in the ways he's describing in Task that he's embarrassed by. That's the part.
You
I'm
also
saying.
drink vodka out of a styrofoam cup, or is it tequila?
Yeah, of course, tequila. Let's get to that hockey fight involving 10-year-olds because it's taken us too long to get to this hockey fight involving 10-year-olds. Chris, do you want to give me some of the play-by-play on this so that I can follow it? Because I have not seen it. You guys were telling me it was the best video from the week.
It's my favorite video of the weekend. It's an AHL game. And it's during the intermission, they do this a lot where they bring out a bunch of kids. Hey, you get 7 minutes. Go play hockey. And these kids did not play hockey. They just started fighting. And it became like, I think, a 90-second. We can maybe get our chart out to see what this actually was. Was it a melee? Was it a, what the hell are the other things that we had? A scrum? This is just,
Dan,
watch
keep
a
an
brawl.
eye on
I
the
think it's a
goalie right
brawl.
here. Keep an eye on him. Okay?
Look, we could, maybe Zaz, you could do your.
Well, he was trying to do the telestrator, but he missed the goalie. He
You
tried
could do the
to circle.
Rothstein. Roll it.
He tried. Well, but he's not keeping up with
Look at
anything
this.
that's happening here. He's not using the. He's not using the telestrator very well at all.
Where are the parents? Look at this. Boom!
Look at
Goalie
that.
just comes
Look
in.
at that.
Levels
Look at
There's
him.
the
And you
goalie.
saw he gave a fist pump, too. He's like proud of
And
himself.
then he got out of there. This is just like, where are the parents?
I also want you to
How
keep
did
an
this
eye here,
happen?
Dan. Watch this kid right here and this one. They start fighting each other. The same team, they
Yes.
start fighting each other.
No.
Watch
At
watch
one
these
point,
kids.
2 blue kids. Yep,
They
he's
start punching
he's
each
punching
other.
another blue
Look,
kid.
they're on the
He's
same
punching
team.
another-
Zaz, circle it. Circle it, Zaz. Like you're not helping anybody by red dotting these
I
kids.
got
These
following the red dot.
guys.
Yeah.
That you're using the telestrator very poorly, Zaz.
Well, you know.
I just love this. Like, the crowd was going nuts to it. It was just way better.
So
than
what do you want? You
Can
want the
someone
parents?
step in?
You want the parents involved?
I mean, the coaches
Where are
maybe.
the adults?
Like maybe the announcer to be like, "Stop, kids!" Like no one was doing that. The crowd was going
This-
wild.
God,
that goalie.
And then he
goalie's
gets
a
out of
menace.
there. And then
No, the goalie's
scurries
good.
away.
That goalie is hell bent on destruction. He took out 3 people by just skating from one end of the ring to the other and then hitting them with all his pads.
And let's
And then
not
just going back.
let's not forget they're flying into this pile with skates.
Yeah.
like this is not safe.
No, it's not in any way safe. It's
I'm really surprised
I love
no
the
one
guy
got seriously injured.
Punching his teammate.
We're sure of that,
And
right?
by the way, how about this goalie right here? Can he do something?
I know the blue team goalie is just watching.
I mean, grow a pair. Get in there.
Somebody cross-check somebody there.
yeah.
10 years old. Grow a pair. Like that's what literally
Now,
is
while-
going to happen over the rest of his
Now
life.
while this is out of control, you know they have the respect here. No one's like taking their stick and like wait, like they have their like
No,
these
there
are
was a
hockey
cross-check.
players.
There was a cross-check.
Yeah, but it's there's a level of respect even in this.
The goalie was hell bent on destruction. The goalie is a menace who is being raised poorly, as all of those kids are, by parents who are feeding a culture of violence that is stupid.
I just love that in this sport, that's not that crazy.
Welcome distraction or ridiculous excess in these difficult times.
Welcome distraction.
The Golden Globes last night. Nikki Glaser is now the host of the moment. She's been great, rising above comedy to do these things exceptionally well. They're not that easy to do. We don't have a lot of beloved by America. Oh, she's going to be funny and edgy, and those things require some personality so that you can soften it for America, who is put off by the Ruffalos of the world going there and making their political speeches as the Hollywood elite. Nikki Glaser is filling a role in comedy right now that only goes to some of the comedy greats and is crushing it doing so because those monologues are hard to do. You have to have an assortment of writers. They are pressurized, and only the best of the comedy greats are always invited to do those things.
But you didn't watch this award show.
Nope.
She was great. Shout out Ian Carmel, as Amin said.
But when you watch, I get these things condensed for me. I don't know
You've
how
seen
you
of it.
I don't know how you guys consume your late nights, or I don't know how. Like all I'm watching is 10-minute monologue clips.
So from the social clips you gathered,
from cutting, it cut together. I don't care who wins anything.
I enjoyed her Sean Penn jokes and her Leo DiCaprio jokes. She took the easy bait when it came to Leo DiCaprio.
It's low hanging fruit. Come on.
Yeah, but then she explained the joke. She's like, "I'm sorry, Leo, but that's literally all we know about you. The last interview that you've given
that's funny.
Was the Team Beat, in which your answer to your favorite food was pasta, pasta, pasta."
She has like the perfect ability not only to deliver those jokes without them coming across as corny, but then throwing in the self-deprecating joke within it. Like there's a moment where you think she's going to go after Jennifer Lawrence, and then all she does is make fun of herself by saying she went in and asked a makeup person to make her look like Jennifer Lawrence, and they said that they couldn't in some sort of way. And it was just like, it's a really perfectly crafted monologue. And coming in and out of commercial breaks, like she seems to be the perfect person to host these events. Everybody likes her.
These things are hard to do as we go back to College Game Day. People have gotten used to these things, right? Things don't go wrong, and so therefore people have just been spoiled by the idea that every Saturday on live television you have 3 or 4 hours of programming that all of America is watching, and they fly across the country, and they are giant productions, and they've reinvented themselves as a show with McAfee and Saban to ward off the threat of the other group that doesn't have quite the same chemistry. Like, that's become obvious over the last 2 years, has it not? That even as Fox attracts audience for a variety of reasons that doesn't have anything to do with sports, they can't televise the same thing. It's not as good.
I mean, look, obviously, I work for ESPN. I haven't heard. I don't hear people talk about what happened on Big News.
They're watching it. They are watching it. It's just clearly not as good. It's an inferior product.
Happy New Year, everybody. 2026 is already getting off to an incredible start, because you want to know how I rang in the new year? It was with a bunch of friends in a Dallas hotel lobby bar ordering a bunch of Miller Lights, because that's how you do it. That's how you make special memories. Miller Lite has been by my side at many special football memories this year, and hopefully we get to write a few more memories with Miller Lite. Some of my most legendary moments have started that exact same way. A buddy's house, a lobby bar, a game, no big plan. And then you crack open a Miller Lite, you take a sip, and you look around, and you immediately recognize that you made the right call. You're locked into the game, the conversation, the moment, not thinking about what you're drinking. Miller Lite just fits. Clean finish, refreshing, brewed for taste with simple ingredients like malted barley, and at 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces, it never weighs you down. Legendary moments start with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Before we get to Juju Gotti here, the polls and some more football thoughts, Mike Ryan, I'd still like an explanation for the audience. I wandered away from this. Why it is that we as a media company have on the table the ability to have Billy Corbin make a bunch of University of Miami content for us, and you as somebody who's a lead executive, talent producer, broker, person who makes things, or director of making magical shit, or whatever it is that your job title is, why is it you're saying bleep Billy Corbin, who's offering to make good, fresh things for us and is the voice of University of Miami football historically through sports documentaries?
This company shouldn't be called Raconteur. It should be called Saboteur. He just hasn't been on our side. Like, to every opportunity to make a joke and poke holes in what we were trying to build, he's taking them.
Why does he do that?
And he sounds sarcastic when he does, like, let's go Canes.
Why does he do that then?
I don't know. Maybe some people emotionally hedge. They don't want to get hurt by this program, so they build up walls and a fake public bravado. But he hasn't exactly been an ally, Dan. I think you could agree.
I don't technically agree, because I believe that simply he puts sports in its proper perspective, and so he is bemused by some of these things. But he also knows, like Zaslow knows, when he says last week that the University of Miami winning is the biggest thing in sports for him, and when he just said earlier today that last win is the biggest that he's felt of his lifetime, Zaz's answer when asked about why he feels that way was along the lines of they're good for business.
Right.
Like everything hurricane related is good because people eat it up like they eat nothing else up.
Right. If you want to approach this from a mental health standpoint, I'm not even disagreeing with you that maybe Billy Corbin's approach to sports and the school that he went to is I'm not going to argue that that's the wrong way, but I rock with the people that are emotional, that don't have the perspective, that have been living and dying with this program.
You don't think he was emotional about it?
No, I don't. It wasn't. I know the people in the foxhole, and he's not one of the people in the foxhole.
Oh, but there are very few, and this is why you're getting a sports allegiance experience very few ever get. The fan always feels like he or she is a part of these great things when often they're not. In any way, your voice hasn't lent anything to the contribution. You're there, and you care, and they will take all your money. You've invested your time, money, investment, business investment. You have but Mike, you've built a media thing at Miami while talking. Look, I saw on ESPN, who was that guy representing you on ESPN that Danny, what was his nickname?
D-Money?
Yeah, D-Money, excuse me.
On Feinbaum, he killed it.
Yes, sorry for forgetting his name. D-Money is somebody that you have partnered with on talking University of Miami football and building a business, and I'm sure this week is the best week for business that you will have in the history of your business investment.
Yeah, it's been a good time to hop in on Kane's content. My issue with Billy Corbin isn't so much that he was a doubter and he wasn't there on the foxhole. I know I mentioned that, but he just made fun of us a lot, and I didn't really understand it. Great, there were things to make fun of. There were people that made the decision that they weren't gonna point and laugh at what was going on with Miami. They were either gonna try to be part of the solution or be there for support. And when it comes to the emotion of your team finally digging itself out of that and feeling like they're a part of this, I think I've earned the right to be a little skeptical about Billy Corbin and his motivations coming around here.
Roy, I don't know, and Juju, forgive me for a second. We'll get to you in a second. So I know you've been talking to Billy Corbin. I'm proud of what it is done for several years. You and him have done on Because Miami, serving as a community watchdog. What can we actually tell the people that Billy Corbin, who made the U 1 and 2, the U was the most watched 30 for 30 documentary there's been. I don't want to reveal too much, but he's willing to help us make more content this week. And Mike is saying he doesn't want it.
Yeah, we are currently playing some cutting room floor stuff from his previous documentaries about the U, and hopefully on Monday we will have something that might be a U Part 3 on Monday.
That's also like, can we win? Can we win? That's enough time dedicated to Billy Corbin.
Remember, it might be.
We're not back. We're here. Let's let's stop making documentaries.
But being here will mean
we
you're
don't have
back.
the ending yet. Yeah, we got to win number 6. That's another thing. Like, don't bring your energy over here when we're trying to win.
Well, bleep Billy Corbin
That's
is more
right.
efficient than that.
That's right.
You're weird this way. You did this with the Panthers and not allowing me to put up billboards because you didn't want me to jinx the franchise for all time when it's just nonsense.
Yeah, we understand. I care more. I love sports. I like my teams. You
It's
like
not- that's not
you like
just
to be
caring
over there
more.
joshing it off on the sideline.
Agreed, but that's not just caring more. That's caring so seriously that you think that I can affect the result with some crappy superstition you have.
You wanted them to get reverse swept, Dan.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
What are you talking
Yes, you
about?
did. You wanted that
We
content.
We don't need to relive it.
I
but
wanted to get to Game 7.
Wasn't a good look for you.
Look, you
What are
have
you
your approach.
talking
It's been
about?
madly successful over 20 years, and when it comes to University of Miami, you've largely been right. But these are the consequences for approaching this school, your school, I might add, the way that you have.
Yeah, that and Columbus doesn't like you.
Okay, and
don't agree with your
so
politics.
this has come up. Forgive me, Juju. Just give us a second.
3
here.
apologies.
No, because this isn't an apology. This is a bleep you. Because I mean, yes, I have been grateful verbally and in print throughout the entirety of my life for the way that school raised me in a number of different ways, including my first introduction to black culture of any kind coming out of high school and private schools in Broward County. teaching me about race relations and being the most interesting thing I've ever written about locally in my sports lifetime because of how outraged America was during McDuffie riots and in the 80s and 90s, the things that were going on in Miami. That team represented this city in a way that was polarizing, unpopular, wonderful, and champion excellence, and they made the entirety of my career. But while I was there, I was also taught at the journalism school to do journalism, and that program had a lot of stuff in it that was worth reporting. And so I did, with the help of players who gave me that information freely, because at the time as a reporter, I wasn't writing about the injustices in college football. I was just writing about how it is and why it is they weren't getting stipends and what they were doing around that. That's journalism.
I stopped listening.
Juju, I know you did, but I don't really care.
I perked back up for injustice. I was like, yep.
I don't really care that the fans of Miami don't think I'm a fan enough for them.
All right. Well, the consequences are that's what the reality is.
Okay, fine. And because I'm not. I'm not a fan. I'm a journalist.
I'm not an ally.
I was a
Weren't
journalist.
you like spreading ketchup on your face?
I was.
Didn't you? I heard the show on Friday. The school has
guy's a liar.
tapped back into my school pride and my fan. You're playing
Dan's
both
School
sides.
Spirit was the name of our local hour.
Bandwagon fan.
You said you were emotional 2 weeks ago about the win.
I was. I was scared. Not
And
2
you
weeks
fist
ago.
pumped when Udonis Haslam made that baseline shot.
What side of the fence are you on?
And I told you guys I was surprised by all of it overcoming me. And it's just because I'm a bandwagon who likes to be near the flame.
You just don't like to be all in emotionally. You like to emotionally hedge. You think if you make a joke out of it, it can't hurt you as bad. That's what you're doing.
That's excellent pop psychology.
That's literally it. And I'm sorry to chime in finally, but Mike is exactly right, bro. I've been running these social media accounts since 2020. That means I've been seeing Billy Corbin's response to the Miami Hurricane season being over every single year. Every time it's over, he be like, "The U is back." At Mike, "The U is back." At Le Batard Show with some funny stuff. Nah, brother, you wasn't with us shooting in the gym. Matter of fact, you wasn't with Mike shooting in the gym. You're just like a hater who follow you on IG. Look at all your stories, but never push the heart. Never give you a like. Never put you 100 on nothing. Nobody want to hear that, brother. Now that we doing good, stay over there with your hating ass and let us be okay. Sorry for butting in.
You know about that hating ass?
Yeah, Dan.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Hey, Billy Corbin, stay over there with your hating ass. Yes or no? At Le Batard Show.
Are we going to respect the vote?
No, I'm going to take his content. He can stay over there. I'm going to take his content, though. I mean, there's no circumstance under which I'm not taking his content.
It is pretty good. I watched it the other day.
It's gold. What are you kidding me?
Yeah. It's also a long time ago.
Yes. Well, and Miami having games that mattered like this, also a long time ago.
Yeah, not helping.
I mean, it's a fact.
Not helping.
It's a fact.
He's a journalist.
Stat of the day. I'm fact-based. Ain't no fake news around here. We're brave enough to send Tony into the sex shop. Ain't nobody else doing that. With the freedom God gave us.
You're fat-based.
That was ketchup. It was legitimately ketchup on my forehead. What is the stat of the day that you have, Juju? Do you have one better than Amin's stat of the day?
Start of the day, start of the day. This year, start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This year, start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This year, start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This year, start of the day.
Stat of the day is brought to you by Miller Lite. Legendary moments start with a light.
In the career of 49ers wide receiver Juwan Jennings' career, he has 2 touchdown passes. Over the career of one quarterback of the LA Chargers, Justin Herbert, he has 2 touchdown passes. Back to you guys.
In the playoffs. So you blame Herbert then. Everyone's blaming Herbert instead of that Herbert didn't have an offensive line.
No, I'm not blaming Herbert at all. You can watch that game and see how much scrutiny he was under and not understand. It's just like the Bills right now. It's miraculous. I cannot believe we won that game yesterday. Once we had number 37, the new safety come in, I was like, oh, our bets are off. But, man, them boys got it done. So I think that Justin Herbert is just a victim of that O-line.
But when you say those, we didn't talk very much about Bills in Jacksonville. And we are at the point in the story for Josh Allen where only the losses that are calamitous are going to be things that that smear him, because he's now expected to win every game and get into the Super Bowl, beat all the teams, even if it's on the road and even if they're outmatched as they were yesterday. He made every important play in that game. While Trevor Lawrence is slipping on 4th and 2 with some of the physical advantages that he has, and while Trevor Lawrence is immediately extinguishing hope with 59 seconds left, Josh Allen beat Jacksonville on the road by himself. Like Brandon Cooks was available to everybody four weeks ago. Anybody could have had Brandon Cooks. I don't know how many times he's going to target Shakir 12 times in a game. I can't believe Buffalo won that game not being able to run the ball, Juju.
Right. That was our biggest advantage of going against the number 1 rush defense. And they pretty much factored James Cook irrelevant the entire time. It was one of those days where Superman, we need you, please. The building is falling. And Superman swoops in before the building falls down, especially with a hurt finger from the first half, a knee that was hyperextended the other way, and a foot that was already messed up on top of a concussion.
So thank you for that, Juju, because we were talking about the way Justin Herbert plays and the idea that the Philadelphia Eagles ravaged physically. There were 3 times that Josh Allen left that game yesterday that I thought he was injured. Like Matthew Stafford, it was just his hand. Josh Allen already said, I'm coming into this game, my feet don't work the same. I will have to deal with that the rest of the season. Yesterday it was his head, his elbow, and what else, Juju?
Yeah, like you said, during the game, Josh Hines Allen fell on his head during the first quarter. So it was like, bro, everything that that was stacked up against him yesterday, he would have been perfectly fine laying on one of those saying, man, I couldn't go no more because he landed on my foot or my knee hyperextended. He said, excuses be damned, put Buffalo on his back once again, and we're on to Denver.
You don't think that Josh Allen tush-push for 10 yards is real football, do you?
I mean, I feel like once you out there, you got to do what you got to do. I feel like that was a heroicism. That's what that was. I also think that on the other side of that ball, though, that we didn't get a lot of media attention, Parker Washington was concussed. I mean, I have eyes. I listened to Dr. What's his name, Nowinski, Chris?
Yes.
Bro, I saw Parker Washington come over the middle, take a couple steps, not know what his hands were, and fall on the ground. And they let that brother come back in the game in the third quarter. I don't know what we're doing no more.
The last play of the game, bad Trevor Lawrence throw, the safety bit, that was open for Parker Washington for the game to be won by Trevor Lawrence with one throw, and instead he throws an interception. What do we have on the top 5 people that Justin Herbert reminded you of last night? Do you have any OLI, or do you have just the top 5?
Just the top 5, man. It's one of those mornings where y'all pretty much got to every topic I had on my sheet, so we're going with the B cuts, baby. Number 5, who Justin Herbert reminded me of last night, Martin Lawrence versus Tommy Hearns in a boxing match. Number 4, I don't know how I sent him to the video team. Let me make sure I send him to the video team good. But yeah, I think that the Chargers line need to grow up. Number 4, the Saturday Night Live skit where the football player kept falling in the most uncomfortable ways. Whatever the name of that skit is, that's what he looked like. Number 3, don't be a menace to South Central in the hood while drinking your juice. The gangster that got stomped out for coming to the neighborhood, he won't come over to the wrong neighborhood no more.
I got these cheeseburgers.
Right. Number 2, the hockey meme where the guys in the hallway just tackle each other.
Ouch.
That was Justin Herbert on the back of that.
That looks, man, that is not worth whatever they got for clicks on that. That seems wildly painful and dangerous what they did there. Ouch.
Right, spina bifida. And number 1, the Joker on a motorbike being slung off the motorbike meme. That was Justin Herbert last night. Every play.
Excellent video supplements. I encourage the audio audience to see all of that on video. It is made funnier by the video. Juju, any other football thoughts before we get to the polls?
Yes, great wins by Indiana and Miami over the weekend. But it kept coming up that Lane Kiffin and his coaching staff were kind of, I'm not sure how that worked. He was allowing his coaches to coach while recruiting. That whole situation to me is goofy as hell. The NCAA need to step in, man. Recruiting starts from now on January the 1st. It seems like an easy fix. Why do recruiting start the same week? Oh, I need you over here. We're trying to get to the national championship, but come from the national championship run to recruit. It don't make no sense to me. NCAA goofy as hell, man.
I did not have your football thoughts from the last week of professional football being the NCAA is goofy as hell.
He's right, though.
Yes, of course he's right. At Le Batard Show on the polls, Juju, what do we have?
Yes, sir, man. Hold on while I pull him up. Also, my cousin was goofy as hell yesterday, Darius Slay. He got signed by the Buffalo Bills, didn't want to come to the Bills, still wanted to play for the Eagles, pulled up to the Eagles game. Goofball cousin of mine. Have the shoes at Bird Bowl been there for 69 years? 92% of the audience says yes, they have been. Will an NFL team hire Brad Williams next season to be thrown on 4th and inches? 82% of the audience says yes, they will.
Yeah.
According to Dan, only if he loses like 25 pounds.
Is it possible to have a minus 60 plus minus against the Hornets? 69% of the audience says no, it is not possible.
That happened this weekend.
It's true.
Also, a Miami Heat game got canceled because of condensation.
There's a rain out.
Aisle 3 in the grocery store has chips or pasta sauce. 67% of the audience says pasta sauce.
That's correct.
And last poll, the Golden Globes. Welcome distraction or troubling for these times? Also, I think I watched the wrong Adolescence.
Not troubling for these times.
Look, I was also confused.
Especially ridiculous for these times, not troubling for these times.
But yeah, on the Instagram polls, you only get a certain amount of characters. So as eloquent as you want these polls to be, you only get 20 characters, big bros, or something like that. But 59% of the audience says it's troubling for these times.
That's too bad. Juju, good seeing you. Thank you, sir. Check out Alley Oop. He does it with Trista. She's hurting. Trista's hurting. That Oregon result really made her look bad, feel bad. Zazzle, you seem to enjoy her pain a little bit.
No, I don't, but I checked in with her that night. I was like, hey, you doing all right? She just writes, not even a little.
Yeah, Alley Oop is the name of the podcast and on YouTube. It's a lot of fun, and it's different. Thank you, Juju.
Yes, sir. DLSHoops.com, baby. Substackers.